So despite the fact that he said in his admission that Puffy put a hit on Tupac, he sued for $1 million. In those days, you simply hauled cash without anyone else's help, gave it to the fellow, and never reported it. Did he simply say that? It appears as though we are getting insights concerning the perplexing case in regards to Tupac's lethal shooting in Las Vegas in 1996. In a stunning development, Dwayne Davis, a hoodlum otherwise called Keefe D, admitted to the police that Diddy offered him $1 million to execute rap symbol Tupac. What's more, in spite of the fact that it was claimed before that the music magnate could pay a pack to make that lethal shot, it seems like Keefe D additionally gave sufficient evidence and receipts to the lad this time. Howdy everybody, and welcome back to the Fame Reporter channel. So after 27 years of stalling, the fact of the matter is at last coming to light. When? The one who has been vocal about his immediate contribution to this wrongdoing throughout the long term at last gave the police important intelligence on one of the suspects in this shooting. Also, clearly, he would rather not go down for Diddy's wrongdoings. So against the implicit criminal code, he rapped the scandalous music Big Shot out, uncovering that Puffy offered him $1 million in real money for disposing of Tupac. Your entire life is being flipped around as of now. Precisely. Keefe D has been working with the police for a really long time. Yet, despite the fact that this man asserted he was one of only a handful of exceptional observers of the Tupac shooting that are as yet alive, clearly his declaration and admissions didn't assist the case in being tackled up to this point. Notwithstanding, when the police struck the hoodlum's home with an unexpected warrant, more terrible insights concerning how the entire shooting had been coordinated were found. Presently, he feels like the police have cornered him, particularly taking into account how much he has discovered in his home. As indicated by the warrant, police held onto different things, including PCs, stockpiling gadgets, notes, photographs, and other documentation. As one of the cops said, K took care of had no way out. However, at last, spill every bit of relevant information and offer the previously obscure subtleties of Tupac's death. As per the police, PD was confronting a long-term least required sentence on one more body of evidence that we had worked against him and that we had constructed that argument explicitly against him to urge him to break in. The homicide examinations as of late have gone to Pat's murder himself. He plunked down on an alternate web recording to fault Diddy for getting him engaged with it. That appearance came after news broke that police found slugs at Kefe's house and were trying them to check whether they dated back to that deadly shooting. Presently, it appears as though Diddy is blowing a gasket after these disclosures since his time as a liberated person is finished. Spiraled crazy. Puffy is truly worried about his government assistance and his security. The timing couldn't be more regrettable for the music tycoon on the grounds that evidently he made himself agreeable subsequent to paying many individuals in the past to cover every one of the hints of his contribution to this wrongdoing. Furthermore, albeit D's name was sporadically popping up in the association of this awful evening, just a short time after the shooting, the members and observers of this horrible occurrence started to shout out. Presently, Kiki is saying that Diddy made himself distant in this situation on the grounds that the guaranteed cash didn't actually arrive at the hoodlum suspect. That was most likely the best thing that might have at any point happened to Puffy by taking the cash. Presently, Puffy. Up until the present day, the examination of Tupac's unfavorable downfall has tormented the personalities of millions of the rap legend's fans. Furthermore, although it seems like all sensible clarifications lead to one individual, Diddy has never even been addressed as a result of his strong confirmation and vindication. Clearly, the hip-jump investor determined each step of this wrongdoing and ensured nobody would have the option to interface with him in his case. Be that as it may, as one of the cops referenced, they have sufficient proof to at long last break this case in 2023. This is only a case that consumed a large chunk of the day to determine. I feel that will be colossal and will have a gigantic effect, not just in the hip-hop local area and the African media and the African American people group, but in the policing as well. Obviously, Kiki was keeping a ton of data all through the examination interaction. Furthermore, after the warrant, it seems like interlacing untruths just got him rather than the police. Also, he had no real option except to uncover his cards and affirm that Diddy guaranteed him $1 million for finishing the work yet never paid for it. On the off chance that you could express anything to Puffy after all that you've done for him, what might you share with him? I'm still here, Broski. As yet pausing. The shocking case that Diddy was answerable for recruiting a posse to execute Tupac has become visible in a 2016 narrative made by Greg Kading, a resigned cop. Kading guaranteed the deadly hit-and-run assault of the rapper in Las Vegas in September 1996 was arranged by Brushes, and he even consulted Keefe to find out about their $1 million arrangement. Taped police interviews among Kading and Keefe are likewise highlighted in the narrative, in which Davis claims Diddy addressed him once in a while to examine the conceivable disposal of Tupac. Notwithstanding, a source near the music investor expressed, these are exceptionally old cases that are totally misleading and are just getting referenced in light of the new narrative. As he currently says, Diddy had arranged everything ahead of time, and that is the means by which he made himself unapproachable in this situation. Also, before this new attack, the police lacked the ability to bring the notorious maker to justice. However, he's not arrestable, yet I don't see him approaching or getting scrutinized any further on this. Be that as it may, the tables have turned now, and Diddy is supposedly the essential suspect in this episode. Furthermore, with new proof coming into the police's hands, the web-based entertainment clients accept that he will take care of himself by escaping the country. As one individual remarked, even if he leaves the country, we know there is inclusion. Also, another client added that he needs to address the cost. He took the legend from us. Nonetheless, regardless of the recorded discussions among Katie and Feed, the police actually had no strong confirmation to interface Puffy with this case. So in any event, when Katie depicted the entire plan, there was no proof that cash was truly coming, since Puffy utilized an outsider to move them. Installment was made, as per Sheffield, for a measure of cash, and they sort of allowed it to go by then. Presently, Puffy has known that the FBI is watching him since that narrative emerged. Furthermore, Dislike is the main puzzling downfall that Diddy is supposedly involved in. The rapper and record maker's ascent to progress was shadowed by legal difficulties en route. What's more, evidently, the new court order in Cepheid's house gave the police sufficient proof to corner Keefe and pressure the man to spill reality at long last. What's more, all things considered, Keefe would rather not end up in prison for requesting Tupac's shooting. Police attacks, weapons being taken, individuals beginning to turn witness and betraying you. He made an arrangement. Can Diddy take advantage of his opportunity after more proof comes up, or will we at long last see him wearing an orange jumpsuit? Share your considerations in the remarks below. I'm anxious to understand what you're thinking. What's more, meanwhile, actually look at my different recordings about this tremendous case. Indeed, that is in support of today. Many thanks to you for watching. Remain tuned.